So we're going to talk about giving your all to people around you. Welcome back, guys. James Rodney Jones here, and I was thinking about this just because of the connections I've made recently. And the Bible talks about us being spirit, soul, and body. We're made up of three parts. What can happen with us is we can compartmentalize those parts and only show those sides to different people. And that is a fallacy, because let's say your spiritual side, let's say all the things you've ever studied in Scripture and all the things you learned in Sunday school and in church, you share that and nothing else with someone. And there is a time where someone is needing encouragement and they don't need carnality. They don't need your fishing story or your hanging out, goofing off time. They need spiritual advice, and you need to kick into gear. But here's what happens, and I've had this happen where around certain people I had just, for a long time, only, they saw this spiritual side, and they never saw my soul and the things of my heart, my desires, my visions, my dreams and goals. They never saw, the carnality of me and the humanity of me. And so they would kind of go, well, Brother Jones, you just don't understand, because you just ain't never faced this or seen this. And I'm like, oh, you don't understand. I've made mistakes just like anybody. And I've been through these things. And then if you tell them, they almost kind of like are shocked, because Brother Jones has faced this, And I've also had the other problem where I've gotten into carnality and just talking about whatever, not even including spiritual conversation. And that kind of leads to worse and worse, because yes, we're human, but there is a point where carnality turns into sin. And so you have to say, okay, I can be carnal, but I cannot sin. The Bible even talks about be angry and sin not. It's like you're going to be human, and you're going to have human emotions and thoughts and even, jokes that be like, can't believe I'm laughing at this joke. But you got to be able to stop it and say, this is the boundary, because beyond this point, it does not please God. It does not line with the words of God. So on this side, you have this spiritual part of you that's been nurtured, and hopefully you're nurturing that spiritual side. You're reading, you're praying, you're going to church, you're letting other people feed into you. And that's supposed to anchor you so that when your soul is trying to make that decision, it says, okay, right now I'm going to talk carnal. But here's another thing. Your soul in itself can be speaking. You could be talking about your dreams, your goals, and you're not being carnal and you're not being spiritual. You're talking about even maybe something that could lead to spiritual. It could be your calling, and you're just so passionate about it, and you're all about that, and you're so about your kingdom and what you think God's trying to do in your life, and maybe He is, but that you forget about sometimes just taking a break and relaxing with people and just being a friend. Or you actually forget to be spiritual and encourage them. So you've got to find this balance of, and here's the amazing thing, when you learn to be a friend and share all these sides where they see your heart and what you long for. And David was a man after God's own heart. And yet he loved God and the spiritual things of God, but at the same time, he had a man killed for his wife. I mean, he was carnal and sinful, but yet he was very repentant, and he kept drawing back to the things of God. So all I'm trying to get a point here is that try to find a balance. Try to find a way to, if it is just going on a fishing trip, to bring up some spiritual. But don't make it all about spiritual and let your whole existence be that, but let it be rooted and grounded in spiritual and godly things, but let all these other things come from that, and let people see your humanity. Let them see that you make mistakes, but that you don't dwell and live in them, and you learn from them and grow from them. Anyway, guys, I hope this helps. This was on my heart. I wanted to share it with you, And maybe it helps you. Leave a comment below if there's something you need prayer for, something you need encouragement. We'll try to get back with you. Till next time, guys, God bless.